हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू स्मार्ट क्लास बाय नेहा यूट्यूब चैनल। आज हम पढ़ेंगे कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ मिसेस एल्विंग के बारे में। मिसेस एल्विंग घोस्ट प्ले की एक कैरेक्टर है जिसे हेनरिक इब्सन ने लिखा है। मैंने उसके बारे में वीडियो पहले ही अपलोड कर दिया है, आप मेरे चैनल में जाकर देख सकते हैं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Mrs. Alving was a wealthy widow whose husband, Captain Alving, died 10 years ago. A proper but surprisingly free thinking woman, Mrs. Alving has decided to build an orphanage in her husband's name. The day before it is set to open, Pastor Manders pays Mrs. Alving a visit to discuss the institution's finances. Despite Mrs. Alving's apparently romantic interest in him, Manders criticizes Mrs. Alving for briefly leaving her husband when they were first married. He also suggested that Mrs. Alving is a bad mother because she sent her son Oswald away from home at such a young age. However, Mrs. Alving reveals that her husband was a wretched man who led an immoral life. Manders knows this was the case when Captain Alving was young, but Mrs. Alving says that he never actually reformed himself. Nevertheless, she devoted herself to him and helped him create a sterling reputation. One day, though, she discovered that Captain Alving had gotten their maid Johanna pregnant. This, she tells Manders, was the final straw, and she sent Oswald to live abroad so that his father would not be a bad influence on him. Unfortunately, though, soon after this conversation, she discovers that Captain Alving did influence Oswald, since Oswald inherited syphilis from him. Trying to convince her son that he should stay home with her, Mrs. Alving promises to care for him, but he says that Regina, the Alving's current maid, for whom he has romantic feelings, will be the one to help him. Hearing this, Mrs. Alving tells both Oswald and Regina that they are half siblings, since Captain Alving impregnated Johanna, Regina's mother. This information drives Regina away from the Alving household, at which point Oswald asks his mother to euthanize him if his condition overtakes him. And though she hesitantly agrees, she does not think this will ever actually happen. Shortly after this conversation, though, she has to decide whether or not she is going to honor her word. Since Oswald suddenly goes catatonic, unable to make a decision, she stands in a fit of terror before her motionless son, clutching the vial of morphine pills he gave her for the purpose of euthanizing him. सो फ्रेंड्स, आई होप वीडियो से आपको हेल्प ज़रूर मिली होगी। वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो लाइक शेयर ज़रूर करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो पर। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।